You have probably seen one of those cool maps before, which compare the actual true size of countries versus how big they appear to be in, for example, the Web Mercator projection. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn, all in Python, how to capture and how to visualize in an animated way the true size versus area distorted map projections. So let's see how the code works out. As you figured, this tutorial is going to be about map projections. So I have come across with this animation by Neil Arcave a few years ago, and I really love this, and I think it's a really great example of how to illustrate the true size and the usual size we see on web-based maps of different countries. So now my goal was to sort of recreate this map in Python step by step and also add a visual twist coming from me. So let's see the code. As always, we are starting off with the necessary imports, and I will also add the link to this map which served as an inspiration. So the drill is going to be that first we will figure out how to have two map projections, one showing the usual distorted view, the Web Mercator projection, and then the other one is going to be a true size projection, namely the usual well-known mole-wider projection. As a basis, I'm going to use the also quite well-known natural Earth country boundary dataset. Then, once we are done with the basics and we have the data and the two projected world maps ready, then what I'm going to do is that I will compute a scaling factor which measures how distorted the Web Mercator projection is for every single country. And then I will take the Web Mercator map, I will take the centroid location of all countries, and then I will scale down the polygons based on the scaling factor or the distortion ratio, and then scale down the polygon, but I will keep the location of its centroid, so we will have them in the same place. And then from this point it will be just a very simple for loop which is going to create all the frames which we can use to generate the animation. So after reading in the data and creating the Web Mercator version and the true area mole-wider projection, we will compute the absolute areas of the polygons in the two dataset. And since the Web Mercator is also measuring things in meters, in theory these should be comparable. See, it's meters, and here as well. So in theory, these should be comparable. So if we compute the distortion ratio, then we will have a number between 0 and infinity, but usually in the range of around 1, which tells us how distorted each country is. Yep, here we are. So you can see here that the most distorted countries, for example, Greenland, Norway, and Iceland. And here we have a bunch of countries which are not distorted at all. And yeah, maybe I was actually wrong. Now I'm a bit unsure that there are any countries which could have smaller than 1 distortion ratio. So yeah, actually, yeah, it's always larger than 1 in this case, or equal to 1 plus minus the noise. So that's it. Let's have a quick look at the two maps, which we are going to bend into each other. Yep, they are indeed different. And just for the sake of clarity, let's also color the map based on the distortion ratio. And you can see here that indeed, the closer a country is to the North Pole, the more distorted it is. So let's start drawing the rescaled map. We are going to store the scaled geometry of each country in this new list and iterate over all countries in the original data frame, pick the geometry and the distortion ratio, define the distortion factor. So here we have to take the square root because we are going to scale the polygons outlines, so how far They are from the centroid point essentially, which is a linear dimension quantity, while we have the distortion ratio as the area ratio, which is scaled by the power 2, or the area of the polygons. Then we will pick the centroid and apply the scaling. Remember, we imported the scale function directly from Shapely, a function I have never used in Shapely before, even though I've been using it for like 5 or 6 years, almost on a daily basis. And then just create a new data frame and show it. And here we are. So now we have all the countries placed at the same location or same position as they are in the Web Mercator projection, but now their sizes are showing their true physical size. So here you can see that they are getting really far from each other, especially in the far north part of the map. So now let's see how we can combine this map and this one here. So the Web Mercator and the true size maps. To make sure that the boundaries are in order, let's take the bounds of the map, define the plot, add the first layer, the distorted layer, and then add the scaled layer, set the axis, and some housekeeping, giving the title to the image and aligning it. Yeah, maybe a bit too large for this screen. Let's just scale it down a bit. And yeah, here we are. So now we have the Web Mercator projection and the true size projection on the same map. Now what we have left to do is to create an animation which will turn one map into another. Also here with the coloring, I am still following the original inspiration, but later on we will move on to my personal touch. But first let's create the animation. To make sure that we have everything in order, I will copy all the previous data parsing and preparation steps here as well. Then I define a folder for the frames, and then we will create a for loop which will save the frames. So the logic behind this is that we have the sky blue map, and we have the scale factor, which is a float number, which scales the sky blue map to the dark blue map. So what we are going to do is that we will not scale them directly, but we will pick the scaling factor of 1 and the final scaling factor. And then we will pick a bunch of different scaling numbers between these two, and we will keep adjusting and changing the scaling factor by just small amounts. And this way we will have a series of scaled maps with increasingly stronger scaling, and these will be actually the frames in our animation. For instance, we will have now 30 frames, which should be good enough for a quick animation for a few seconds. And then for each frame we are going to do the same as before, except that we won't have the final scaling factor, but a temporary scaling factor which is scaled by the number of steps we are in and the total number of frames we are going to have. Other than that, it's the same steps as we did before, so I'm just copying some code here, rephrase, and now we are not going to plot the image here, but we are going to save them. So this loop might be running for a few seconds, but then we will load all the files, all the frames, and then using the image.io library, we will turn them into images, image objects, which we can easily join into a time-lapse animation, and then we can also read it in our notebook. So here we have the frames, we have the images, and now we have the actual footage. And you can see this is how the distorted map transforms into the true size map. And now let's do some design updates, where I'm going to recolor the countries based on their continents, turn this into a dark map, use neon colors and put it in a loop, so once the code or the animation runs, it will circle back to the beginning and then iterate and go back and forth for a while. We will save the frames to this folder, and now we will have 4 cycles. Then we will do the usual data preparation steps just to make sure that everything is here in one place. And additionally, I will create a column for colors, coloring every continent in neon colors and using the built-in continent column of the data frame, thanks to Natural Earth, to color the countries. Then, to make sure that each frame has the same bounds, we will pick the global bounds here, and then iterating over the main loop, where we will do the scaling as before. Here again we have the temporary scaling, and then we prepare this temporary geodata frame containing temporarily scaled frames. Create the figure now with black background. And since I've already run this code, I will just run for the first frame, but you shouldn't add this part. Then we create the plot, add the title as usual, do the usual housekeeping and clean up the plot and save it. So then we can do the same thing again, list the files in the new frames folder, turn them into images, define the output file, which is going to be an animation, a video again, create the video, and just for a quick look, let's play it here in the notebook. And here you can see that the countries now get scaled back and forth and show how the Web Mercator projection actually distorts country sizes compared to their true size. So if you want to further improve this map, then we can probably play around, for example, with the temporal characteristics, so it wouldn't be that fast, or somehow it would be proportional to the total area change per frame. But for now, I think that this already demonstrates the point and the effect well enough. So, and also this has been a map I really enjoyed and adored for years. So I'm very glad that I finally get to reproduce it and adding my own stylistic touch to it. So thanks for following this tutorial and see you next time.